Everybody, Jennifer here. Just wanting to share some tips with you about the use of essential oils with your dogs and cats. I myself have two dogs. My brother has a cat, so we are using essential oils with our animals and in our families in general. So I wanted to share some tips. So the tips I'm going to share with you, I have learned from a veterinary panel that doTERRA hosted at their annual convention this past September 2018. So these are valid tips from veterinarians who not only use the oils in their practice, but they use the oils at home with their own pets as well. So to begin, we want to, of course, say that using essential oils with common sense is ideal. We try to do that anyway with our children and with our whole family. But remember that pets are little ones and their bodies are a little more sensitive, the way they process things. But they do very well with essential oils. It's just good to know what to do and what not to use, etc. So also we want to make sure that we have the purest oils available as possible and the most therapeutic grade. I myself use doTERRA because I know the purity of this brand of oil. So just make sure that you research and you know that whatever you're using is the highest therapeutic grade. So to begin, we always want to dilute our oils when we apply them topically to our cats and dogs. So for example, in this 10 milliliter roller bottle, we can apply the oils topically using rolling on our hands and then either petting the cat or dog. This one is a digestive blend, so in this case we would want to rub their tummy. And we first want to let the animals smell the oil, let them know what we're going to be using with them, and after a while they will begin to associate feeling better with that scent. So you just want to give them a chance to smell a little bit, and then you can use topically. So topically we can also use the petting method, which you rub, again, a diluted essential oil or essential oil blend on your hands, and then you can pet. You can also rub into the pads of their feet, but do make sure that the pads are clean, because if there's dirt or other ickies from outside on their pads, you can be driving that in as well as the oil. So make sure that you just wipe their pads off quick with a little soap and water, and then you can go ahead with the oils. So some great oils to use, for example, frankincense we can use with cats or dogs. Lavender, again, good for cats or dogs. Arborvitae is really nice to keep fleas and ticks away, as well as we have an outside TerraShield blend that we can use, I think primarily with dogs. And for fleas and ticks, you may need to reapply periodically and focus on the bottom of their belly and legs and arms, as we go. For cats, we would do frankincense or lavender, again, very diluted. So you would put 3 to 6 drops of essential oil in a 10 milliliter bottle with fractionated coconut oil. Shake it up and then again apply with your hand. For anxiety, so diffusing is a really good way also to use essential oils with your dogs and cats. And so again, we want to use a water-based diffuser, nothing that you just put the essential oil in the diffuser bottle. It's too strong. So we want to always think less is more. We could always reapply if needed. You just want to watch your animal to see if they're having any reaction. And when we diffuse, make sure it's an open space and make sure that the animal has a way to get out if they really find that the oil doesn't agree with them. So always make sure that the animals have a way to get out. Let's see. We can also diffuse something. One of the vets shared a cute story about how his dog snores and how he snores. And he has a diffuser on the side of his bed. And he uses the Breathe blend from doTERRA, which kind of helps open up airways and help everything help all the oxygen through. And he found that his dog would at nighttime lay right next to his bed, his side of the bed, near the diffuser, and her snoring had actually decreased as well. So they kind of know when things help, and they'll come find it when needed. So again, also just as for us, nutrition, gut health is really a foundation for general health, but especially skin or allergy issues, excuse me. So we could add a probiotic. I've used milk kefir for my puppy who had a bit of a digestive issue, and pumpkin with his meals every day for 10 days, and he was great after that. I've also used this digestive blend to help with tummy issues. You could add omega-3 and digestive enzymes made for animals, of course. So those are some great basics. And so I wanted to tell you, so I used some great oils to use for the animals. Oh, also for pain. This is a big one I've been using with my dog, is Copaiba. It's excellent for discomfort. You can apply it along the spine, again diluted, or massage it into joints that are achy, or even use a drop internally in a little vegetable capsule and give it to him that way. And I found that really has helped my dog. She's 14. She's a little achy. So those are all great things. So again, we're going to say safe for all of them are frankincense, lavender, arborvitae, geranium. Geranium's a good flower, and that's good for some fleas and ticks, or I think for calming as well. So it's a calming oil. But one thing I want to stress for both cats and dogs, and I did not know this myself, but Melaleuca, which we use a lot of, it's tea tree oil. It's also known as tea tree oil. That tends to be harder for the animals to process. It's not going to harm them permanently, but it's harder for their bodies to process. So if they have some kind of skin abrasion or something, you don't want to use the Melaleuca on them. Now, if you have some Melaleuca in a household cleaner, I would say that it's probably okay, but then there are so many other options to use as well. So maybe skip that. Lavender's great. Now for cats, I would say citruses in general are to be avoided with cats, but lemongrass, even though there's no lemon in it, but lemongrass is good for cats, and they do well with that in general. So what else to avoid? Cats, topically and internally, they have quite a list. So basically the citruses, peppermint, rosemary, wintergreen, again, Melaleuca. So with that, we want to be careful. Also be careful if your animals are pregnant or nursing, or if they're taking any medications, or if they have seizures. There is an oil to use for seizures. So basically, this is a tip from Dr. Janet Rourke, and she said for a seizing animal, open frankincense and put a drop on the skin between the paw pads or topically at the base of the skull, and it should help them come out of the seizure more quickly. So again, that's frankincense. So even if you decided to use just a few oils for your cats and dogs, I would say frankincense, lavender, and Copaiba, and the digestive blend. That should solve the majority of your problems. And if you're ever concerned about it, of course you can talk to your veterinarian. But basically, what she also said, that if you observe your pet's behavior when diffusing essential oils, discontinue the use of an oil if your animal exhibits signs of distress, such as drooling, squinting, rubbing their face, if they vocalize, pant, have muscle tremors, start shaking, vomit, diarrhea, or skin irritation. She also did follow this by saying, don't panic if your pet has a skin irritation or an adverse reaction. Most of these resolve with dilution within 24 hours, but always, again, feel free to call your vet if you have any questions. So I hope that gives you guys a little bit of some of the basics to use with your pet. I have to say I've been using oils with my older dog for excuse me, a few years now, and she does very well with them. But again, always observe, always remember a little less is more. And if you have any questions, post them below. I'd love to answer any questions you have, and I hope you have a wonderful day and give your pets a little extra love when you get home today.